Alright guys, good day. My name is Benedict and I'm presenting this video for Software Academy. So in this video, we're going to be looking at different ways of performing sum in Microsoft Excel. Alright, so we have different types of sum in Microsoft Excel. So there is sum, there is SUMIF, there is SUMIFS, and there is what? SUMPRODUCT. So let's start with the first one, sum. Now sum allows us to sum range of cells or to sum data in cells. That is what sum allows us to do. So you can see the formula right there. So B2 all the way to B10. So this B2 can vary, right? It can be C2, it can be anything. But that's just the formula there. So let's look at it practically. Hope this will make a lot of sense. Alright, so here to perform sum, to add all these numbers, right? I'm going to use the formula sum. So equal to sum. So select the first one, select the last one, and press enter, and that is that. So you see how I performed the sum using the sum function. So let's look at SUMIF in Microsoft Excel. Alright, for SUMIF, sum allows us to sum range of numbers with a condition. Sum range of numbers with what? With a condition. So if I have range of numbers, I can say, okay, I want to sum so and so numbers are we together. So that's also, let's take a look at the formula. So you can say I have SUMIF, I have range, I have criteria, I have sum underscore range. So this is range, this is the criteria, sum underscore range. Now notice that this sum underscore range is in a square bracket. In Microsoft Excel, anything inside the square bracket is optional, meaning that we might not need to type, we might not need to account for this third parameter. Just focus on this first and two. But the next example we'll be looking is we are going to use the three parameters together. So that is so let's look at how to sum numbers based on a condition or based on a criteria using SUMIF. Alright, so here this is the data set we'll be working with. So using SUMIF to sum the number. So what is our task? Our task here is that we want to sum we want to get the sum of prices of a particular product. We want to get the sum of prices of a particular product. So how do we do that? First of all, we have our equal to SUMIF. We select our range, comma. The next one is our criteria. So which product are we summing? Is this guy, banana plantain. Then the sum range, we select this, we select this, we close this, we press enter. So that's that. So it's telling us that if you sum the prices of banana, so of plantain, right? If you sum the prices of plantain, it's going to give us 1,000. So let's look at another example again using the same sum. So here SUMIF, SUMIF. So this time around, we are going to omit the third parameter when we are performing the sum. So we can select our range here, comma. So what criteria? So what we want to achieve is this. We want to know the sum of food items that is more than 850. So we'll just put greater than 850 here. So using a condition, so do you notice that we didn't put the third parameter? It's just the first two parameters that we put. So when we press enter now, you can see that food items that are more than 850 is 2,500 as the total. So that is that for SUMIF. So let's look at SUMIFS. SUMIFS. So SUMIF simply means getting totaling sum of numbers or totaling numbers or ranges based on different criteria, right? Getting the sum of numbers based on what? Different criteria, so based on different conditions. So let's take a look at the formula. For the formula, we have SUMIFS, open parenthesis, sum range. Now this sum range must be numbers. It wasn't like the other one that we saw that we can sum uh, the range of text or range of numbers, but this one is strictly numbers. You must sum numbers as the first parameter. The second parameter is now range of criteria. The third parameter is now criteria. The fourth parameter is optional. Now look at anything inside square bracket is what? Optional. The fifth parameter is also what? Optional. What does it mean? It means that this fourth and fifth parameter, we can leave them out. Anything inside Microsoft Excel, anything in square bracket in Microsoft Excel, I beg your pardon, is what? Optional. So the first three parameters are required. But the example we are going to look at now, we are going to use four parameters: the sum range, the criteria range, the criteria 1, and some criteria 2, blah, blah, blah. So that is what we are going to be doing now. So let's take a look at the example. Hopefully that this will make a lot of sense. Okay, now, so using the same data sets, so we are going to be looking at SUMIFS. Are we together? So SUMIFS allows us to sum a range of data with multiple what criteria. So what is our goal? What are we trying to achieve? What we are trying to achieve is this: we want to get the total price of a particular product ordered by a particular person. So this person, what is the total price of the product a particular person ordered? In this case now, we are looking at this person here, Tosin. Don't mind, we are dealing with a small data set. And so we want this guy, this person is appearing twice, right? We want to get the total price of the product that this person ordered. So let's take a look at that. So we can be on any cell. Let's be on this. Let's make sure this cell is active. So we select, we'll be on our formula bar. It is much more easier with the formula bar. So equal to sum ifs. Remember the first parameter. The first parameter is what? Sum range must be sum range. It must be a range of uh, numerical data. Now, you can see criteria range. Are you seeing that Microsoft Excel is suggesting for us? So criteria range. So what's now the next parameter? The next parameter is now what? Criteria. This time around is plantain that we want to get the totals. So now the next parameter will now be what? An optional parameter. So let's go to the customer column. So which customer are we trying to get the amount of product that he bought? So let's use this number 3, that's Tosin. Oops, try it again. Then put a comma, forgot to put a comma, and select this person, then close the parenthesis and press enter. So that is that. So that is it. So let's try it again. This time around, using just the 3 required parameters. So I can just do equal to, I can go to my formula bar here, equal to sum ifs criteria range, comma, another, this is sum range, I beg your pardon, this one is the criteria range, then this is now the criteria, then press enter. So that is that. So without making use of the fourth parameter, we have this. So that is how to use the SUMIF. So let's go back to our slide so we can look at it. All right, so back to our slide. So this is what we just did, right? We have our C2 to C10, that is the sum range. We have our B2 to B10, that's the criteria range. We have our B5, that's the criteria. Then we have our optional parameter, that is the customer column, which starts from A2 all the way to A10, and the particular customer that we want to get the sum for. You can have as many optional parameters as the case may be, depending on your use case altogether. So that is SUMIF. So now the next other formula that we made use of was using just the 3 required parameters. That is the price range, the products or food item range, and the food item criteria. So this is the required parameter that we used in our last class. So let's take a look at the last type of sum, which is sum product. So this is the last part of our video here, sum product. So what's sum product used for? So the sum product function multiplies a range of numbers and then sums the product. So the sum product function multiplies a range of numbers. So I can have range 1, I can have range 2. So each of the cells in range 1 and range 2, I'll be multiplying them. After multiplying them, then I can now get the total together. So what I'm saying here might make my sound gibberish a little bit. So let's take a look at the practical. So, okay, looking at this practically, I think the best way that will help us to understand this is, I have some data here already. Let me delete this data. So normally, on a very good day, if I want to get the total, if I want to multiply this cell and this cell and drag down to get the total, this is what we normally do traditionally, right? So here we normally do this. So equal to this cell times this cell, press enter. Then you can just double click, we have this. So if we want to get the total, we use what? Sum, just sum. So select the first cell, select the last cell, close your parenthesis and press enter. So that's that. So this is what we normally do. So what is the essence of sum product? Sum product is nothing but a shorthand. It's going to make this process short. You don't have to type this, type this, type this. So that is just what sum product does. So let's take a look at that on this sheet. So for sum product, all we need to do is to just type the formula equal to sum products. Now select the range, put a comma, select this range. Remember, I'm clicking to hold my shift key. I click again, close my parenthesis, and press what? Enter. So that's that. That is what sum product is used for. So I believe that this video has been able to demystify or explain the concept of sum, SUMIF, SUMIFS, and sum product. So if this video is informative for you, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Are we together? So Software Academy does data analytics training. So in our data analytics training, we teach Excel, SQL, Power BI, and some Python. So our training is starting soon. Do well to give us a call and make an inquiry. Thank you, Benedict, once again.